Now, I have a really bad habit of making decisions, putting myself under impossible timelines to complete the project, and this is one of those times. So, stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Daryl and welcome to the channel. It's one of those decking episodes, but this one's different. This one is a maximum of 3.2 by a maximum of 2.7. It's got a curved edge that follows my garden edging. It's got to take the weight of a hot tub, so probably 1700 kilos all up with people. And it's got to be beefed up to carry that. So I just figure you would like to see that. It's a low level deck. It's a minimum of 40 mils off one side and 120 on the other. Now, why put a spa in your backyard? Well, the previous house that I owned had a 12.5 metre lap pool that I put in. Apart from costing a fortune to put it in, maintenance on it, even with automatic cleaning and dosing, there was a reasonable amount. It was really good when the kids were young, but as they grew up and did their own things, you just used it less and less. So there was a big question over, well, do I ever want to own a pool again? The funny thing was, though, that whilst we were building this house and living in a rental that had no pool, I was at the hardware shop one day and just saw they had some blow-up spas, nice inflatable spas, and I just thought, for $500 it'll keep us cool over summer. And we ended up using it all through winter, nearly every night or every second night, because you'd come home from work grumbling. It's like, let's just go and sit in that with a drink. And it became known as the attitude adjuster, where it would change your attitude in 20 minutes. So that's why we're sort of going with one. It suits us at this point of time. Now, when I ordered this, they told me it'd be 3 to 4 weeks. And they rang up the Monday after and told us it would be 2, which was great. I've got to do a base. We've currently got a crushed stone base that I put down, and the old inflatable spa which we brought up here has been living on that. That thing's come to the end of its life, and it was like, okay, well, we'd like to upgrade anyway. But I did notice with that, during weather conditions with rain and the like, that it got quite dirty along the sides, and because this thing is cedar clad, I'd like to keep that as pristine as I can, so it will mean re-oiling every now and then, like any deck or wooden furniture the like. I could put down a concrete slab, not a big fan of that. I'm probably a big fan of a more natural material, especially in this bushland setting that we live in. So decided to build a deck, and when we were building that, it was like, well, I'll build that so not only does it cover the area of the spa, it also gives us some room along the side to put towels down and to walk on. So the spa is 2,030 millimetres in diameter. The deck's 3.2 metres. So we should have, at least a metre of room along the side to get in and get out and everything like that. So it should work out quite well. So let's have a look at how I've got to this point, how we're getting around the weight problems with the spa, what materials we've used, joist spacing and everything like that. And this is the platform as it stands at this point of time. I still need to put in a noggin across there, across these two close together joists in the side plate. Dimensions, it's 2200 across, 2700 across, 1700 across, and 3200 in length. All the posts are at 600 or 700 mils deep, depending on when I hit rock. The whole platform is made out of 140 by 45 H3 treated pine, and the posts are 90 by 90 H4 treated pine, so they can be cemented into the ground. And we put an angle on the top of the posts so that water can run off. With the side plates, these will be covered with a wider decking material, so all the coach bolts are recessed in. So I've just used a 24mm spade bit to start the holes off with, recessed them in, and then gone through with a 10mm wood bit. Because this is so low level, we couldn't run a traditional bearer underneath the joists. So I've got a 90x45 doubled up bearer, and I've got joist hangers on those. And I've just put some of these 1mm packers in. Now all my joists are at 300 centres, so that'll take the weight. Normally we'd be putting joists at 450s or 400s. Across that bearer we've got 3 posts, and in the centre of the hot tub we've got a further 2 posts. And because this is so low, I can't get another bearer in there, and that's why we've used the 140/45. Hangers at the ends of each joist, but it's solid as it's not going anywhere. Where I have these angles here, I've got a 90-degree plate and just hammered it to the angle that I needed and screw it all in. So now I'll just go over everything, make sure I haven't missed anything, tighten up all the bolts, add some gravel to the base of it to stop weed growth, and we'll put on some bearer protection.
One pathetic sob story later.
Now things have ramped up again and the weather's against us. It's raining again. Yesterday it rained all day. The previous footage I took on Sunday. It's now Tuesday. I was editing the footage on Sunday night and received an email from the spa people saying that they were going to deliver on Wednesday and not Thursday, Friday as I was hoped. So yesterday, Monday, did no filming at all, put up a tarp and worked under that all day. I'll show you what I've done. Now yesterday, in the rain, under the tarp, I've done all of this, and there's enough here for the hot tub to sit on. And what I've done is, I've actually finished this area. I've just put a clear over it at this point of time, a clear oil, and that'll just keep it looking half decent in this weather. Now I need another 11 pieces of decking to finish this off. Because it's so hard to come by and I had to sort through the whole rack to get this, what I've done is I've measured all the pieces that I need. So I've just jotted the widths down of the decking and a spacer on a joist, and then just measured all the width because it is a diagonal at the front. And I've put those on my phone so I can go up and just try and get those pieces, or slightly larger hopefully. Let's see what we can do. And this is the rack that I have to choose from. the decking boards on this are all finished. How good does that look? And we're ready for this hot tub to be delivered. For oil, I've done 2 coats of oil on it. This is the colour. We've used, as normal, the Q-Tech Extreme CD50 and a light oak colour. I've gone through a lot of Q-Tech's colour range on sample pieces of spotted gum, and this is the colour that I think is closest to the natural wood colour, and I'm so happy with it. It looks so good. And I've also put the side plates on 2 sides of this so far. And I think it's looking pretty good. Well, as you can see, guys, we're done. Really chuffed with how it's all turned out. It fits in well with our landscaping. The deck itself, I'm so happy with this colour that I've done it in. We've got a much larger deck to put down the side of the house and into our alfresco area, and it will be this colour too. It works really nicely. You know what was annoying though, was all the drama with getting spotted gum decking. I went to get some of the wider pieces for the face plates after I'd finished it all, and where I normally buy my timber from had a complete rack full. They just had a delivery of the spotted gum in the smaller size. So yeah, these things just happen with building. So all the face plates are on, it's all oiled up. It will be fine for, 2 to 4 months or so. Depending on the weather conditions, I generally find with this Q-Tech oil, if you get a lot of bad weather, you'll need to revarnish it or re-oil it sooner than later. But then again, it is such an easy job to re-oil. Basically, clean the deck down and just re-oil over the top of it. And because it just sinks in, I tend to put the oil over, wipe it down with a rag, and it probably takes 6 hours or so just to sink in. But it's a really good product, really happy with it. You don't have to sand it back like you do some of the water-based oils. The spa itself, it was supposed to be delivered on the Wednesday, and that was the drama with getting the deck finished for that date. For whatever reason, it wasn't. These things happen sometime. We had a bit of an agreement once it didn't turn up with the company in question, and it arrived on the Friday. So these things happen. You can't plan everything perfectly all the time. Very happy with this though. We've used it over the weekend, and apart from it being too hot, so we're just dialing it down. I think we're down to about 34 degrees now. And it is it is very, very good. Very happy with it. But all in all, I think it's been a good purchase. I think the deck is really good underneath. I do find that if you get out, the water because it's the deck, the water doesn't pool on the decking. It just goes through the cracks, whereas if you had a base like concrete or the like, if you got out, the water would just sit on the concrete. So another plus for the decking under something like this. But after that, I think we're going to move down. We've got a fire pit area that we've mapped out, but I'm going to build some benches to go in that, and we'll probably get some of the gabion cages, the wire cages that you fill with rocks. There's so many rocks just laying around in building sites here that we'll get more than enough to fill these cages. So we'll probably use the cages and put decking boards for seats over the top of it. But that's for another day. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope if you are building a deck or need a base for one of these spas, today's helped you out, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.